Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. A little bit of a different venue here. Working on a new concept for a menu system for the main game project that I'm working on, and I want to share this concept idea with you guys. And I've got a special guest here, Jason, that's going to talk with me about it. And this could be his first look as well, and get an idea of the feel for it. And this is just a menu. This isn't the actual game. And you see the character that's on the screen. The assets are by Cinti Studios, and these are the Polygon Mini stuff. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and click over to it. So you got a little bit of menu going. So we'll do a slow reveal here. And what it is when you first start the game, you start off in a 3D world where you can walk around. I tried to make it to where you couldn't just jump out, so I gotta refine a few things on it here and there, but I don't want you to be able to jump up on the stuff and jump out and fall to your death. Somebody will figure it out, and they'll be dumb enough to figure it out, but you know, whatever. So I've got a nice little waterfall over here, get a little boat in the water, a little house, some trees. You go over here, there's a mountain with some snow coming down on top of it. Some other little stuff over here, and this is actually where your options menu will come into. You'll walk over and you can see you can walk into it and it doesn't like hit you, but when you walk into it you'll have the opportunity to hit a key and then open up the menu. So once you decide that you've got your options the way you want, then you can come over here, and as you walk down the road you'll come to a fork in the road, and at the fork in the road you can decide, do I want to go to single player or multiplayer? If I want to go single player, I just walk over here and I will go to, and this will branch out into different tiles and icons and so forth for the different styles of games that will be available to play from this menu system. And if I choose to go to multiplayer, I can go over here, do the same thing, and I'll walk over and I'll have other different tiles that I can walk into, and they're going to be tiles based on different themes. So if I want to go in there and say, okay, I'm going to go to multiplayer, and whenever I go over here and walk into the multiplayer section, say that I choose to go into a sci-fi or World War II or Wild West or modern or whatever, I'll have those options, and then whenever I go there I'll go into another virtual world where I can then interface with the other people in that themed area. So any thoughts on what you're looking at so far?
I'd say it looks pretty good. It's something I've never really seen before, that I know of. I mean, it's a very good menu system. You're not really just pushing buttons, and you're just walking around. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it'll be pretty cool.
It's different, and that was the whole point. Was I wanted to deviate from the standard everyday average menu system where you just go in there. Now the characters you're going to play in the main portion of the games won't be the minis, but what you'll be able to do is when you go to the options menu, it'll come up and you can even change your character that you use for the menu system. And what I'll do is probably have, as a free to play, free to download version of this game, you're only going to have the choice of one standard character, and it'll be either male or female. You can choose your gender. If you wish to identify as being a female character, I am Beefalo Bart, so I am Sheriff Beefalo. That's what my character looks like. Your character may be different because if you're on a free-to-play version, you can choose between a male character or a female character. But if you're on a gold package or a premium version of the game, then you'll be able to select whatever you want for the menu. Not. Sure.
What if it gets too crowded in there?
You're the only person that's going to be in this menu. This is your menu.
Okay.
So once you actually go into, I want to go multiplayer, so I come over here and walk down this road, and as soon as I get into this portion here, I'll then have tiles that are laid out with themes such as a sci-fi theme, or a Wild West theme, or a World War II theme, or what have you. And then once you select that theme, You then go into another area, which will then be a multiplayer-based map, which will be much larger than this. You know, this is just the menu that you're going to see when you first load the game. You're going to be right here in this little spot, facing this direction. You're going to be right here when you first load into your game. You launch the icon, and bam, game comes up. Here you are. You can look around. You can walk around this, check out the scenery. Come over here, check your options, change your graphic settings, your audio settings, controls, what have you, will all be done right here. And then you decide, I just want to play single player. I don't want to mess with people today. So I come over here, and it'll have the same basic thing. There'll be games based off of the different themes, like the sci-fi or the Wild West or World War II or modern or whatever. You'll still have the same basic feel, because you walk over here, the path will branch out into the different themed areas, and then you can do whatever you want. Whatever you choose that you want to change themes, you go back to the menu, and you'll start back in this menu again, back in the normal starting location. So you'll start back right here again when you come back to your main menu. So if you hit escape and go back to main menu, this is your main menu. So now I want to go play multiplayer. I'm done playing with myself. I mean, playing by myself. And I want to come over here and do some multiplayer stuff. So now I pick which theme that I want to go into. If I want to go to a car-based game, then I can go into a car-based game. Or if I want to go into World War II themed, I just walk through here and pick which branch that I want to go into. And there'll be these icons that are floating right here. You can see, well, that's two people side by side. That must be multiplayer. That's one person. And I could always put a legend in as well that says, okay, this icon means this. And I'll probably turn the music down a little bit, but you think this will work as a viable menu system? Like I said, you're going to be by yourself in here. There's nobody else going to be in this menu but you.
I think it's going to work out. My couple questions, maybe a question, but that's a couple questions.
Yep.
My thing is, you said you'll be able to change your character, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so why can't you make it where you just have your character in the menu? Is that possible or no?
Yeah, whenever you come over to your options menu, this will be your options. You come over here and you press E to enter your options. Then what will happen is you'll get the ability to change your character. And if you're on a standard account, then you'll have a choice between a male or a female character. But if you're on a gold account or a premium account or whatever you choose to call it, you'll be able to do a custom character like Sheriff Beefalo here, or a wizard or whatever. And I could actually go back to the files for the asset pack. So I'm going to hit escape, go to the main menu, and you won't see that menu anymore. That won't be there anymore. You'll just see this map, and that's all you're going to see. The mini characters from Cinti Studios, I think they look great, and they have their own purpose. But, for the actual gameplay, you're actually going to be the characters that are appropriate for that particular type. But if you choose that you want to be a skeleton, there's your little mini skeleton guy. So you pick in the options menu, if you've got a premium account, okay, I want to be a skeletal knight. How about that? You've got all these different choices you can go with. What if I want to be a wizard? There you go. There's a bunch of different options you can choose from. And like, you want to be a samurai warrior, sensei, you want to be
a golem.
Yep, you want to be a cowboy. I am Sheriff Beefalo. Nobody is going to look like me.
I want to be a clown.
Well, I don't have a clown just yet, but whenever Cinti Studios does bring out the additional mini characters, I will add them to this content. But as of now, there is no clown, sadly.
Maybe they would make one of a clown.
Well, we could get.
I wonder if they would ever do custom orders. That'd be cool.
They got enough work to keep them busy for a while anyway. But, you know, we could always come up with something. Get someone to make an actual custom clown just for a guest appearance of maybe, you know, like Skippy the Evil Clown.
That's true. Do that. Yeah.
So, but the standard, I think, will probably end up becoming either just, you know, a regular female character. Could be this one. I haven't decided just yet. But it will be a generic male or generic female character like this. You know, you could be the peasant woman or the fantasy queen. I haven't decided which is going to be the default characters. I just wanted to get the basic feel of this menu down. So let's actually go back in here and walk around again. So I'm playing in standalone, just so it's a bigger window. I can resize it so it's easier to see. But so when you first go into your game, or you go back to your main menu, this is what's going to come up. You can see the Steam thing pops up in the bottom right hand corner. So it's going to be Steam game. So let's go to our options menu, which I haven't built yet. I've only been working on this project for a short amount of time, but I wanted to look at the viability of this concept and see what's what. So now I want to go single player. I can walk down over here. I put these pillars in here just so it gives you some background context. I'll add more in as well to fill in the background. I like this sky. This is the normal UE4 sky. I may change that also, but yeah, I think this is a whole different kind of concept, and the only time you're really going to see this is when you're in the main menu. So it's not the main portion of the game, it's just the menu portion. So, and I like these minis. They look great for the menu feel, and they're very low impact. In fact, the assets themselves, the whole asset pack for that, it was relatively small. The actual Polygon Mini Fantasy was the biggest part, to add all the tiles and stuff like that. But what I'll end up doing is, you see, I'm going to have to change this where it gets rid of this menu here. So you can either resume game or exit game by hitting escape while you're in the menu. I'll change that around as well. This menu is the old style menu that I've been using. This will actually go away. I'll probably grab the your Steam username and avatar and put that in the upper right hand corner of the screen as well. You know, just to change the overall feel. So
I think it's a lot better than just clicking through a menu. You get to walk around. So
yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is it gives you something different. You know, it's a whole different feel, a different idea. Oh, didn't know I had a revolver in here. I didn't even look at the rest of the props on that. So Sheriff Beefalo can walk around and have his gun. So I'll add a special set of animations just for myself. But yeah, Sheriff Beefalo walks around, and you know, for right now, like I said, this being just a menu system, you have that whole thing. You've got your menu music, and you have your ability to change your options. I will try to make the menu fit the theme as well as possible. And since the entire game is going to be built based off of Cindy Studios assets, what I wanted to give is that feel of the Polygon characters. Now, even though the only time you're ever going to see the mini characters really and truly is while you're in the menu itself. We might do some side games with them in it, but primarily this is the only time you're going to see these characters is in the menu system. When you actually get to the normal game itself, it's actually going to be the normal Polygon characters. So
that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I was really impressed with you know, I got this asset pack from from them directly from their marketplace, and I want to experiment with them a little bit. You know, I hadn't looked at them. I've had it for a little while, and I just hadn't opened up the asset packs and looked at them. And whenever I did, I'm like, you know what? It clicked into my head that I wanted to build this concept for the menus. And I've also added in the simple props and items because I like it. I really like the idea of having the icons, the simple icons. It's simple props and icons, or simple props, items, and icons, which is available on the marketplace and on their store. But if I want to add in a car game or a tutorial or something like that for each of the different game modes or whatever, I could actually bring this in here and do that. And I've got a bunch of icons that I can use inside the tutorial or the menu world or whatever else that which I could probably change the icon for the options. I chose the one for what I'm using now because that's yeah. I like these icons, but you got like you could spell out words with the letters here, and what I've done already in another little side project was I took the letters and I spelled out the name of the game, and I had them rotating as part of the menu. But what I thought about doing was when you first start, right here in front of you, whenever you hit play, but if you're starting off in third person mode, having something that's going to be right in front of you, you're not going to see it anyway. So what I also thought about doing is when you first start off, you start off in first person mode, and that way you can actually see the world around you, and you'll see here's the name of the game slowly spinning just like the icons are, and then after about 5 or 6 seconds it either pans back or goes back into a third person view. So now then you're able to walk at that point and then go to your options menu, or I want to go to the single player menu, I come over here, go down this road. You know what, I changed my mind, I want to go play multiplayer, so I go down this road. So yeah, and putting the items down, you know, you got these pillars here. So if I want to add another pillar right here and right here, all I've got to do is just grab that, Control C, Control V, and change my movement to that, bring it over here, put it in position. Just kind of look at where you're placing it, and it's relatively quick to put these in. When you first put a new one down, you're going to have to rotate them to match your angle. The way I've got everything done, I chose to rotate it by 30 degrees and build my map based off of that. You can change the height of it, you know, just kind of give it some variation. You got the different toppers you can put on the things. So if I look at the Polygon Mini Fantasy, not materials, but meshes, and go to tiles, you got all these different tiles you can choose from that you're able to just, like, say I want to put the hills tile up here. You see, whenever I first put it down, it's not lined up with the way I oriented the map. So all I have to do is rotate it by 30 degrees, and it lines it up perfectly. Now I'm just going to raise it up and slide it in position, and that's it.
Okay, so what if you die? Do you go back to that menu, or is it just?
If you die in the main menu, then you need to have your scrotum removed. I'm sorry.
Squirrel is what I'm asking you.
Now, if you're actually playing in the actual games themselves, each game will have its own set of rules and same everything else. But you should not die in your main menu. There's not going to be anything that can kill you in the main menu. So you don't have to worry about being...
trying to glitch in the main menu. Why?
Yeah, if you glitch in the main menu and manage to get outside, I failed in my job of making it to where you can't, and B, why are you trying to get out of the main menu and fall out of the world? honestly, you kind of deserve it. If you go that way and you actually fall out of the world, you kind of deserve it. But what I'm going to have to do is create a respawn system later on, because you know some dum-dum is going to actually do it. They're going to find a way to escape the menu and fall out of the world. That, or I'm just going to have to make a massive set of blocking volumes to physically prevent you from getting into certain areas. And that's what a lot of games do, is they just put blocking volumes in to block you from going to a certain location. And that's why play testing comes in really important. Thanks for everybody else tuning in here. I've got a couple friends that I know that if I give them a game to play, they're going to ignore the entire gameplay, and they're just going to go around trying to get out of the world. They're going to go around just trying to break shit just because that's the way they are. So, and that's why I love them, and I love having them test my games, because I know that they are going to try to break shit. Why is somebody using a mention doing @BeefLowBart in my channel whenever it is pinned in the public lobby? Not to do that. I won't mention any names, Crusher. Crusher, I wouldn't mention your name, Crusher. I've kicked your butt about this multiple times, ask you not to do that. But yeah. Actually, the Conan Exiles dev kit, temporarily have it uninstalled because I was having some hard drive space issues. It's 150 gigabytes for the Conan Exiles.
What the?
Yes.
Wow.
The dev kit for Conan Exiles is 150 gigabytes. And whenever I got Sniper Elite 4, I'm like, you know what? I need hard drive space, so that's got to go.
100? How?
Yes. No. That's the dev kit.
Oh.
That's not including the install for the game, which is like almost 70 gigabytes. So between the game and the dev kit, you're over the 200 gigabyte file size just for a game and the dev kit for modifying the game. So yeah, that had to go. So let's... Nope, I'm going to undo that. I just did a freaking lighting build. So let's hit play again and take a look at the menu system again. So I like the little scenery. You know, added the little effects here of the waterfall coming down from up there. Got some snow falling on the mountaintop here. Might add some other effects and particles and stuff like that. Got the blossoms coming down from the tree here. Go down the multiplayer lane, and there we go. So like I said, once you make your decision, you want to go multiplayer, then you'll come over here, pick your theme, go into it, and then whenever you're in that theme, you can play it. When you come back to your main menu, what I'll probably do at first is when you go back to your main menu, you're going to start here. Eventually, what I'll probably end up doing is if you went over here to play single player, then whenever you go back to the main menu, you'll start in the single player area. And then if you decide, okay, I'm going to come over here and play multiplayer, and then you go play multiplayer, and you decide I want to go back to the menu, you hit escape to go back to the menu, and select go back to menu, then you'll come back and start over here at the beginning of the multiplayer area. So that kind of gives you a little heads up, because you're not going to, every time you hit go back to main menu, you're not always going to go back to the very start, which would get annoying after a while. So yeah, so I decided I'm going to go back to the main menu. I've been playing multiplayer. I want to go to my settings, so I'm just going to walk over here and there we go, go to my settings menu. I'm done. I'm going to go back to multiplayer. I'm just going to walk right over here. So I think the concept is different. Some people may not like it. They may get annoyed by it, and you know, I would hate to have to create a separate option to where when you first go into the game, you know what, I don't want this virtual world menu. So I come over here to my options, hit E, and go to a regular boring menu system where, okay, click this, click that. you're still going to have some clicking to do. When you go in here, you're going to have a menu that's going to come up, and you're going to have to click things in the menu. And when you get into the actual game portions,
it works out. I think it works out. It's something new, and I think a lot of games will probably be doing this. I mean,
well,
I don't know. I haven't seen no games do it yet.
Yeah,
I know.
It's a whole different concept, and you're always going to have haters at first, and they're, well, I don't like it. It's stupid. I don't like these characters. Well, this is the game. This is, you're not going to be playing these characters in the actual game. You're playing these characters while you're in the menus and the normal areas outside of the actual gameplay. If I come over here to play single player and decide I want to go into the Wild West, then I'm going to have a whole different set of characters. So, just as an example, I'll pull up a demo. I have so many freaking projects that I have. So, say, okay, I decided I want to go to the western area. I walk into that tile, and then I want to go into, a shooter version. So, I go into it, and this comes up. Yeah, I'm actually go into single player. You wouldn't see the menus at this point when you go into those modes. So now I'm in the Western world. I just walked over to that tile for the Wild West theme, and now I come to a little small town, and I can choose to do whatever I want. I can come over here to, this would actually be, if you're in the multiplayer mode, these other characters walking around would actually be other players. You come over here, and the doors are wide open for the rooms here, but you could have your own little room at the end. The lovely lady standing upstairs. He says this would be your new menu system for the Wild West portion. At this point, you could actually go to, say, maybe go to the train station and sign up for a different style game mode or whatever. So like, okay, I want to come over here. Got the Undertaker. Okay, yeah, we don't want to visit the Undertaker. Well, you got the gun shop over here. You can come over here, and this is where you can buy your weapons and so forth. A barber shop. I guess you can come over here and use this to talk to a vendor and change your appearance. What do we got over here? We got the Grand Hotel. So you can come over here. There's not much on the first floor, but you could have a room at the Grand Hotel, walk in, and this would be your bunk room. You have a room at the end. So that would fulfill like the Western portion of it. So now, whenever you got done, you don't want to play the Western thing anymore. You can go to the porta potty. Of course, they weren't called porta potties back there. They were outhouses. So you could choose different game modes. This, like I said, would be the menu for the Wild West. So you can see you've got a totally different set of characters here. You got the normal polygon characters. So once you've actually decided, okay, I want to go down the street here and just explore, you can actually walk around exploring the map. But if you wanted to go into the different game modes from here, then I would say you could come over to the train station, or you could go to the trading post, buy different clothing and change your look there, maybe your weapons at the gun shop, visit the sheriff's office. When you get in trouble, your ass goes to jail. And yeah, this is where you're gonna have to pay the price and go to jail, but or worse, the gallows. So when you're done playing the Wild West theme, okay, I'm done playing Wild West, you go back to the main menu. When you hit this button, instead of it coming to this menu, it would actually come back to here, and now you're walking around this menu again. But if you were in single player or multiplayer or whatever, it would go to the appropriate side. So if I was in single player, it'd start here. Then, what if you want to change over and you want to do a sci-fi theme or pirates? If I want to do pirates, so we'll go over here and we'll play the pirates. So you walk to that section, there will be a tile laid out, and you'll see pirate themed stuff. There might be a character standing there saying, okay, this is the pirate area. And then at that point, you're going to come into the pirate zone.
I think that's a good idea, having a character saying what the place is.
It might actually put the character standing there, that you could actually talk to the character and say, and they would be able to talk back to you and give you a description of what that area is.
Right, a story.
Or like, hey, welcome, this is the pirate themed area. Would you like to become a pirate or whatever? And then if you choose yes, then you could go about doing that. Let's see. So now I've decided I want to become a pirate, so now I walk around the pirate world, and you come over here, and I won't use this map. This is just a demonstration map, even though it looks freaking awesome. God, this map looks good.
I love this map because you can do so much. You can do like pirate raids and stuff, like islands.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll probably have just like an area like this, where you've got the docks and something like that. If you want to go and do a ship versus ship battle, come over here to the docks and you acquire a ship. Talk to the harbor master, which could be like over here or whatever. Talk to your harbor master and purchase a ship of different type, or become part of the crew of a pirate ship. Or you come over here and there'll be different vendors. You can change your appearance, maybe you can change your weapons. Come over, let's say, right over into this little area here. Talk to whatever. Go do capture the flag based game or player versus player. And yes, that is a health potion floating in the air. Yeah, so the different game modes will be available once I'm in the pirate themed area. If I decide I want to go to a ship versus ship battle, then I would come over here to the docks. If I want to go into a regular skirmish mode where it's pirate versus pirate on a little abandoned island somewhere, then I'll come over here and talk to this guy, and that will become quote unquote your mission. And then you'll go into a capture the flag or deathmatch or team deathmatch or whatever else. All the different normal type game modes will be available by talking to people around the area. Like, that's cool, but I'm done playing pirates, so I'm actually going to go back to the main menu, which again brings you back to this menu, and then you decide, hey, well, I want to actually go into more of a sci-fi thing. So there I walk into the tile area for SciFi, and then it'll bring me up to the next menu system, which will look like what's getting ready to pop up on the screen here in just a second. Alright. So then you'll have another map that's based off of the sci-fi environment. So now you walk around the sci-fi world, and this will be in multiplayer. There will be other players walking around this town as well, so you can interact with other players, vendors, so forth. Go to the strip club. Yeah, well, you got to have dancing robots, I mean, what kind of sci-fi world will be without, robotic strippers, right? You come over here, you got hover bikes, hover cars. You walk over here, you can buy food and drink from Miss Noodle. You can walk over here, there's other stuff. It wouldn't be this map, it'll be other maps based with this theme pack. Like, okay, I want to buy me some fresh adult Zub or Blurg of the day.
Maybe we can have space battles and stuff.
And that's the thing, is once you're in the sci-fi world, you could go do a hover bike race or a hover car race, or you could do the other game modes like capture the flag or deathmatch, team deathmatch, or whatever other based games that are using this theme. Now you notice that my character's got a robotic arm. So okay, you can come over here to the body shop. Like, okay, I want to buy another robotic arm, or I want to buy 2 robotic legs, or whatever, that kind of stuff. You'd be able to modify your character in here. You got a VR booth. Okay, you can come over to VR booth.
You don't get to use your regular character. Do you get to use your regular character that you start out with, or does it change the characters?
No, when you go to different themed areas, whenever I choose to go play sci-fi, then I'm going to come to this menu right here. This is going to be my lobby area for the sci-fi world. So whenever I'm in this, I have a different character.
Okay.
The character in the menu is just your character in the menu. So in here, if I want to change the look of my character, I'm going to have to come to like the body shop. I'll come over here. There's a you got like this. This is your body shop. I'll come over here to the body shop. We'll say, talk to a vendor, whatever. Come to the counter and change the appearance of your character here.
Okay, so does your stats on each world, let's say you have stats and you level up or whatever, does it carry to all the worlds?
And that's the thing is, if I choose that I want to level up playing sci-fi team deathmatch, then it goes to your save game. The save game itself stores your level, your currencies, and everything of that nature. So if I earn all of my money in the sci-fi world, and I say screw that noise, I want to go to you know, a World War II phase, then I go back to the main menu. And instead of going to this, you come back to this menu, then choose, well, I want to go to more of a modern feel. So when you go into the modern times and you start doing a modern warfare based, you know, shootout, you've made all your money in the sci-fi world. So now when you come to this lobby area, your character is going to be a little bit different. You're going to go back to a generic character, and then while you're in this town, you can actually go to and change your appearance for each of the different themed areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. Is there going to be okay? So you make sci-fi money, and you make, let's say,
money is money is money. Your currency is going to be the same, and there's no exchange. There's nothing else. You have one currency level, and it's going to be regular currency. It's going to be your cash, your bank account. When you get done playing a certain game mode, then you're going to have cash. Okay. At that point, you need to take all of that cash, and you need to find a bank, an ATM or a regular bank, and deposit that cash into your account. Because if I'm out here in this area and decide I want to go to a darker side of town, and you know what, I want to go buy some black market stuff, when you get to that black market area, it may be player versus player enabled. So you go over here to the dark side of town to buy some illegal substances or whatever else, then as soon as I go around this corner, oh shit, there's bandits waiting to attack and kill me, and if I die, whatever cash I got in my pocket is going to fall to the ground. So it behooves you to take your money and carry it to an ATM when you first get done with a battle or whatever else. So, but you can take that money you make in this world and go to the cowboy world and buy new 6 guns, a new hat, or whatever else. So you can, one currency level, you have cash, you have a bank account, and then you'll have a premium currency. And that premium currency is actually going to be, and I'm not going to get too involved with that right now, if it goes the way as initially planned, it will actually be a cryptocurrency for a premium currency. So you can take that same premium currency, which will be a cryptocurrency, and buy in-game premium content, or you can use it online to buy a new TV or a house or whatever. Use that cryptocurrency elsewhere besides just in the game. But you can bring your cryptocurrency into the game and spend it in here as well. So it's not just a premium currency, it's an actual real world marketed tradable currency that is on the exchange. So we'll cover more of that as the game gets more towards completion. So you're done with the modern world, you want to go back to the main menu. You hit main menu, and instead of going here, it comes here. So I hope that kind of cleared up a lot of stuff on the menu system that I want to use. and how the feel of the game is going to look. So in the main menu, you're going to have your own character in here that can walk around and interact with the main menu settings, or you can choose single player. When you go to single player, you'll be able to choose whatever game styles you want there and go into those worlds, or go to multiplayer and the same thing. But when you go to multiplayer, you'll go into areas where you'll see other players walking around. You can interact, you can chat, you can text chat, voice chat, whatever. Will all be done in that area over there. And what I could do is add other stuff like a mailbox. You know, that way, if my buddies have been playing and they want to invite me to something, they can send me a letter to my mailbox, send me an item or whatever else. But we'll work on that one feature at a time. Right now, the focus is on finishing out this system. So next will be like the multiplayer, if I choose to do that next. When you come over here to this area, it'll be laid out with the different areas. You walk into it. Okay, this is sci-fi, this is modern, this is World War II, this is whatever. And once you go into those areas and launch it, you'll actually go into a new menu area, or not really a menu area, but you'll have a virtual world that you're going to walk around in, and then pick out your different game modes from there. So if there are no more questions, then get ready to wrap this thing up. And it is 7 o'clock in the morning. I am tired and I'm ready to go back to bed. Any final questions you have to ask?
I don't think I have any questions. I like the idea. It's a really good idea. I think it's going to be awesome. It's like, you know, you go all kinds of worlds. And it's going to be awesome when it's, you know, we get it done. So.
Yeah, and I want to break people into this environment slowly. I want to get them to get a feel for the polygon thing, and then once they go into the different areas, they can choose to stay in there and never come back to the main menu if they don't want to. But the whole point of having the menu system this way is an alternative to the normal, here's a menu, click this button. You know, I want to break away from the norm. And by using the polygon minis, it's going to give me that breakaway from the norm thing. And I can plop down these hex tiles and create my pathway to get to different areas. And I think it's going to work for building a unique system that's different from everything else. Like I said, this is only for your main menu system. When you actually choose multiplayer, come over here, go to the sci-fi world, you're going to go to a sci-fi themed city, or a small town, or a large city, or whatever, based on the theme that you choose whenever you're in the main menu. So, alright guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you got any questions or comments about this, or anything, just make sure you check by and hop on my Discord, and ask away. I'll try to get to your questions as soon as I possibly can. And never, 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 never do an @BeefaloBart. Ever. It's annoying. I don't like it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start deleting messages every time I see it and not even read them. But yeah, Crusher. That mod that I created, that I actually put in the weapon that I called the Crusher, which was a giant hammer, I still have that mod. If you're playing the Conan Exiles and you want that mod, let me know. I can. Shit, I don't know if I can do it without having the mod manager, but I can try to pack that. Well, it's just a simple file. I should still have it on my hard drive, even though I got rid of the dev kit because it was just 150 gigabytes of hard drive space, and I needed the space. So I'm probably going to reorganize everything and reformat all 3 hard drives and start from scratch again. But if you guys want that mod for Conan Exiles, let me know. The mod was set up to give you some frickin' uber ass weapons: an uber bow with arrows, uber sword, and they were like beefalo blade, beefalo whatever, and then there was the Crusher, which was a hammer that would just absolutely wreck anything you hit with it. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and shut this stream down and get ready to climb my behind back in bed. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you again soon.